Well, you know the old adage, age is just a number, but that's unless you want to work. Now, despite unemployment being at an all-time low in Australia, ageism still persists in the workplace. But new research suggests that times could be changing.
Let's bring in our career expert, Sue Elson in Melbourne. Sue, good morning to you. This is some good news, some positive signs. What did the research find?
Yes, this is a report from the Australian Human Resources Institute and the Australian Human Rights Commission, and it's called the Employee Retention Report. And what they've actually shown is that there's been an increase in employee shortages, but unfortunately a decrease in older workers who are being employed. The good news is the participation rate has increased, so the number of people aged 55 to 64 has increased, and employers are also looking at more flexible work practices. So there's some good and bad in it.
Yeah, so it can be difficult for older workers to actually find the work. So are there any signs that companies are becoming less ageist?
Well, I think they realised during the pandemic that older workers can use technology, which is fantastic. It's also meant that 52% of employers in this report have reduced the age limitation of new workers, and they've incorporated older workers in their diversity, equity and inclusion strategy. And I think there's a lot more awareness about unconscious bias now as well.
Interesting. Talk us through the benefits that we know of hiring older workers.
Well, it's really great that they have higher concentration levels. They're likely to be much more reliable. They've got this amazing skills and experience and knowledge that they can bring. And anybody who's watched the Intern movie would be well aware that obviously there's a lot of intrinsic benefits of having older people in the workplace.
So, I mean, could old workers fill this gap? Because unemployment is at a record low.
Look, it's interesting because a few things need to change first. Some of the recruitment strategies are not suitable for those older workers. Some employers will have a training budget for younger workers, but not for older workers. Not many older workers are being encouraged to train new older workers. And yeah, there's just a few anomalies there. So I think some things have to change before it's going to get better. But there's definitely scope for, if those things were implemented, then obviously a lot more older workers could come in and meet the demands.
Okay, so what is then your best advice for more mature people wanting to break back into the workforce?
Well, definitely they need to be up to date with the latest job search strategies. So that means networking, referrals and creating an online presence. I would definitely encourage they update their technological skills. The World Economic Forum has shown a lot of those technical roles are increasing, a lot of the non-technical roles are decreasing. They could definitely look at understanding how to perform in prompted video interviews and how to do online gaming assessments, and perhaps some of the older workers who are very highly competent in one area may need to actually consider a career change to make sure that they're meeting the needs and budgets of employers now.
Great advice again, Sue. Thanks for being on the show. Good to see you.
Thank you, Sue.
You're most welcome.
Stay with us still.